Appendix, Book 8, The Circles of Time Volume. Chronicles of the Ancient Russian Church. Circle 39, The Uncreation of the World in the Ancient and Mystical Star Temple, a place of great power and mystery. Father D. Trislav, known as the legendary warrior, in the year 5528, in the month and on the 26th day. The foretelling Kapan Yngling Trislav, son of Vili the Wise, grandson of Artai from the Daurian clan of the Bear, was chosen by the circle of the Vetches, the father of Belovodje, D, and began his service to the supreme holy race. On this day, his entire life was spent in the creation of shrines and the protection of the sanctuaries of Belovodje, caring for the prosperity and greatness of the spirit's power of all the tribes of the holy race and great Rasenia. Foresighted, he prevented many troubles. The gods who gave him foresight revealed the past, present, and future, but hid Trislav's fate from him. He was unaware of the destiny Makosh Mother wove for him, but the life and fate of Trislav himself were hidden from the gaze of the answering gaze. He did not know what thread of fate Mother Makosh had woven for him. A great deal of unjust evil was wrought in those times by the tribes of the fish-eaters and the clans of the Arim. In the year 5526, on the 8th day of the month, before the bright day in honor of god Vishinya, being the Kapan Yngling of the shrine of Svarog, Trislav and his shrine fellowship, consisting of 56 Stauam warriors, always supported by the all-powerful Perun, inspired by Indra the Radiant, and allied with the wise Volkv, the guardian of Volala, repelled the fierce raid of the fish-eaters, who came to Asgard under the cover of night, intending to wreak havoc with a force of 400. In the host seen by gods, all were strong, earned glory. 2 Rasich circles joined Perun's council. Fearing Rasich reinforcements, they fled, leaving 24 dead. Many warriors of the holy races gained glory and honor for the entire city. 2 circles of the Rasich were accepted into the heavenly council by god Perun, who did not disgrace their weapons or the traditions of their fathers. They could not withstand the unprecedented fearlessness of the enemies, and noticing the approach of reinforcements for the Rasich, fled beyond the border, leaving on the battlefield 22 of their slain and severely wounded kin. In that fierce battle, Trislav the Foretelling was severely wounded by an arrow to the head and lost his right eye. His blood brother, the storm warrior Yar Yaznaukov, was found on the battlefield among the bodies of many enemies, struck by swords and pierced by 7 arrows, lying in a state of oblivion, but by the will of the higher gods, still alive. Through the efforts of the many wise Volkovs and the great herbalist supporters, after 2 months, by the radiant holiday of the 3 moons, Trislav and Yar, his brother, along with the surviving storm warriors and comrades, were fully healed. Trislav personally conducted the festive Pravslovleni in memory of the founding of Asgard Iri, and performed the offering of bloodless sacrifices and gifts in glory of all the bright heavenly gods and the wise ancestors. As a result of his injury, Trislav lost not only his right eye, but also the prophetic gift of foresight. However, among the clans of the great race, he was called nothing less than Trislav the warrior, for his displayed courage. In the year 5529, on the 33rd day of the month, in the eerie Vindegard, during the great festival in honor of the gift of Tarkum to the rain god Santivets, Trislav lowered the sphere of creation into the Holy Land, which became the foundation of the great shrine of the ancestor, sending souls to Midgard and welcoming souls back from Midgard. In the world of glory, this great shrine was built over the course of many years and stood 2/3 the height of a warrior's stature, with walls measuring 300 sajans on the southern side, as well as on the northern side. And the shrine was adorned with carved moldings of all kinds, created by 607 craftsmen. In the foundation of the great shrine, a statue of the ancestral clan was erected, carved from sacred cedar, and standing 7 sajans tall. In the year 5531, under the leadership of Trislav the warrior, a trade agreement was concluded with Harimia. Harimia brought salt, spices, and other goods to the Asgardian festivities, and exchanged them for all kinds of furs and cedar nuts. The trade caravans traveling from the borders of the land of the holy race to the festivities of Asgard were guarded by the storm warriors of Asgard, Vendagard, Sventagard, and Ratui. The escort of the caravans was necessary to protect them from the Arim. In the year 5535, at the direction of Trislav the warrior, a growth monastery was built, 3 versts from the city of Atomi, where the children of the fallen storm warriors of the holy race were raised, under the patronage of the mighty Perun and the wise Thor. After the children completed their training at the growth monastery, the Meti would come to observe their prowess in the arenas, choosing young warriors for the storm warrior brotherhood. In the year 5537, Trislav, along with the clans of the Rechenskaya Sloboda, celebrated the day of the god Kupala, offering bloodless sacrifices and all kinds of offerings to the thrice bright gods of the great race, singing many hymns to their bright glory. In the Tarian sanctuary, near the Tara river, the Slabojani began rituals of washing and purification. Suddenly, an enemy detachment of 200 fish-eaters and 400 Arim attacked. During the celebration, dancing around the idols and the shining sword of Perun, blessed by Semargal, the Slabojani, in their tongue, began purification rituals, offering sacrifices to gods and ancestors. Suddenly, an enemy of 200 fish-eaters and 400 Arim attacked, arriving on boats from Iri, moving upstream from Tara. In the battle, the Slabojani defended with boot knives, daggers, and pitchforks, as their swords were in ancestral halls, defending kin without fear. An enemy detachment, consisting of 200 fish-eaters and 400 Arim, attacked, having arrived on boats and vessels from the upper reaches of Iri and moving upstream from the mouth of the Tara. In the ensuing unequal battle, the Slabojani defended themselves with whatever they could find, boot knives, daggers, and pitchforks, because their battle swords had been left in their ancestral halls, and they defended their kin without fear from the foe. Many men met a glorious death under the arrows of the Arim, for they defended their relatives, elders, wives, and children. In the unequal battle, the enemies killed almost all the elders, children, and priests who had come to the festival. They took the smallest children captive to later sell them into slavery. Among the Razi adults, only Paterdi's successor, the priestess witch Oleg from Tara's shrine, remained. During the battle, Paterdi sent Trislav the warrior to the Tarian watch city at the Tara and Iri rivers confluence for help. Guided by goddess Tara and protected by heavenly kin, Oleg saw foreign boats with Roman guards watching captured children. She informed Tarian leaders of the misfortune and the hidden Hariman boats gathering children. The priestess witch Oleg, guided by the great goddess Tara the Wise and protected by the heavenly kin, walking through many bushes along the bank of the Tara, saw foreign boats and vessels, on which sat 2 Roman guards, who were watching over the captured little children. After informing the leaders of the Tarian city about the misfortune that had befallen them, she also told them about the Hariman boats hidden on the bank of the Tara, where they were gathering the captured children. Within an hour, all the male population of the Tarian city, from young men to elders, took up arms. Following the advice of the priestess Olegia, all the available nets were tied together into one large net, and this net was used to block the Tara river not far from the mouth, with 39 storm warriors. Armed with swords and bound together by the net, they hid in the waters of the river, while the other storm warriors along with the commanders concealed themselves in the coastal bushes. As soon as the first boats came to a stop, held back by the net, the storm warriors attacked them. At the same time, warriors and storm fighters rushed from both shores towards the stopped enemy boats. In the heat of the battle, the Erim and fish-eaters, realizing that they could not escape just retribution, began to kill the small children. When the last enemy was defeated, out of 117 captured children, only 40 remained alive by the will of fate. These were small children, mostly aged 5 to 9 years. After the battle, all the dead, both their own and the enemies, were carried to the shore of the Kutar city. Behind the city, a large pyre was built for the enemies, on which the bodies of all the foes were burned. The wounded and the fallen were all taken to the courtyard of Diev, with the wounded being treated and the fallen being honored, in preparation for the great feast. With the rising of the 3 bright sun Yareli, the warriors, women, and elders, the residents of the Parachenskaya settlement, set off to the Taurian sanctuary. A heart-wrenching sight lay before their eyes. The vast area was littered with piles of bloody bodies. The sanctuary of Tara, the idols of gods and ancestors, were burned. The remains of Trislav the warrior were found alongside the war cry of Yarrow, and around them, at the 7 burnings, were 4 dozen bodies of the enemies. In the right hand of the remains was a staff. On it were numerous notches from the swords of the enemies, and in the left hand was a boot knife, covered in enemy blood. His brother Yarrow's right hand was severed from his body, but it still wouldn't let go of the knife. Each of them had no less than 12 arrows and various stab wounds. The slain enemies were burned on the shore of Tara, creating a pyre for them. The bodies of all the Tari people and the Slabojan Parechi were transported to the Tari city, where a great feast was held in their honor. At the circle of the Vedic Asgardian Vesi of Belovodie, Oleg Disoy of the holy race was chosen, and in honor of Trislav the warrior, and in memory of his light, a day was set aside in the Darian circle of the numbers of God, the 26th Daylet, the day of his election as Father Diem. From that day on, the 3rd day of Great Lent is honored in memory of Trislav the warrior, son of Vilimuder, grandson of Artai Izdoariski, the lineage of the bear. Comments. In the historically notable and significant year 5528, 20th year of our era, around Vadichi, that is the Council of Elders, the lands of Sviatorasi, the territory from the Urals to the Pacific Ocean, and from Siberia and Lukomori to central India. Great Rossinia, the territory from the Urals to the Atlantic and from Scandinavia to North Africa. The clans of fish-eaters, the clans of Siberians and Nenets, the tribes of Arimov, the tribes of Jungar living in Arimia. Our ancestors called Arimia ancient China, storm warriors, swift and fast fighters. Volkvi, the heavenly abodes of warriors. All are fierce, meaning in a brutal, unequal battle. The whole is the area, the region, adjacent to the capital city. Tatya, uninvited guests, enemies. 2 circles, 32 people. Rasichis, that is, from the clans of the great race. We did not bring shame, we did not disgrace ourselves. Beyond the border, across the boundary, 289 circles, 288 people. The battlefield, the field of battle, the slain, the wounded, the herb-wielding healers, that is, the healers who treat with herbs. 2 months, 81 days. The Slavic months alternated, with the odd months consisting of 41 days and the even months consisting of 40. The Festival of 3 Moons, the day of the founding of Asgardiri, heaven and glory, worship service. In the year 5529, the year 21 of our era. Year 21 our RR, year 21 our RR. In the Venedgard of Iri, the city of the Venids on the Irtish, This ancient city was excavated by archaeologists at the end of the 20th century, not far from the district center of Bolsherekie in the Omsk region. This archaeological find has been attributed to the oldest monuments of proto-urban culture, behind the Diev's courtyard, under the spiritual guidance. The sphere of the universe is laid at the foundation of the shrine, in the world of glory, a world where our ancestors dwell. Over the course of a circle of years, that is 16 years, 2/3 of the pyre of burnings, 20 burnings, or 42 and 70/100ths of a meter, in the foundation of the world, that is, in the center of the temple, about the 7 burnings, 15 meters. In the year 5531, the 23rd year of our era, Sventagard and Ratuja, ancient cities of Belovodje, were built on the river Abi. In the year 5535, the 27th year of our era, 3 versts, 3200 and 4/10ths of a meter. 1 verst is equivalent to 1066.8 meters. Of the Atomian city, an ancient city on the river Ami near the village of Rostovka, the ancient archaeological site of the Rostov monastery, is a settlement where the priests of Belovodje preserved the offspring of the great race, raising them in ancient family traditions, and teaching them the preserved ancient wisdom of the race, the village heads, warlords and arenas, places for competitions. In the year 5537, the 29th year of our era, of the Parechenskaya Sloboda, the village of Parechi still exists today in the Muromtsevsky district of the Omsk region. The Tarian Sanctuary, a sacred place on the banks of the Tara, known to the old believers as the grove of the goddess Tara. Now this is a cult site of an ancient culture, which archaeologists call the Tarsky Uval. We are on the shore. On the left bank, half a verst, at 533.4 meters, is the shrine of the goddess Tara, the temple of the goddess Tara, the protector of Belovodje. Tara is also called the goddess of the earth. In our time, the goddess Tara is revered not only among the old believers of the Yngling lineage, but also in modern India. Khan Uman is the prince of Belovodje. Uman is revered among the old believers of the Yngling lineage, and in India, but in modern India, he is called Hanuman, merging his title and name. Dravida is ancient India. This territory was inhabited by black-skinned peoples, the Dravidians and the Nagas. A battle is an unequal fight, as well as a clash in which ordinary people participate alongside the warriors. Cutting swords, battle swords, enemy, opponent. Ahriman's arrows, arrows made in China. Fully captivity, involuntarily. Slavery, the Tarian watchtower, an ancient border town that guarded the northern borders of Belovodje from the Siberians. It was located on the left bank of the Tara River, right at the mouth. The remains of the Tarian town were discovered in 1992 by archaeologists from the Tarsk Pedagogical Institute. From the summer of 3502-2006 BC, bury the captives, the prisoners, the captured in a hidden camouflaged place. Young men, boys who haven't reached 21 yet, they already knew how to handle weapons and trained in pairs. A saina is a fishing net, 3.927. Just retribution, punishment, recompense for unjust deeds or actions. Behind the enclosure, behind the fenced sacred place, a large krada, a big funeral pyre. Around them, on 7 burnings, in a circle with a diameter of about 15 meters, of Disa, the great priestess. Meters of Disa, the great priestess.